they're around the world. They're drafting, these different countries are drafting automatic drafts into the military, including the United States. Look at this. Now let's look at the UK. UK Air Chief warns Britain's sons and daughters must prepare for war with Russia, telling families to expect sacrifice. This piggybacks so well with what Pete Hegseth said recently. What Pete Hegseth just said about the U.S. Are you seeing this coordination around the world? There's a coordinated effort. Digital ID, digital currency, the wars, freedom of speech being censored. If you don't know about what happened on X today, I'll get to it in another video. But essentially, they changed the terms of service, and it pretty much, you know what? We'll wait for it. But people were freaking out all morning about it because essentially, I told you there are 20 bills currently in legislation right now that effectively ends freedom of speech. Effectively ends freedom of speech through hate speech laws, claiming to protect children. That's also to help force digital ID to be used just to get online. We've covered these things. We're seeing that censorship going out globally right now. Right now in every Western country, all through Europe and here, Canada. Canada is banning books of the Bible because it's hate speech. Are you getting the idea of where we are? But let me continue. Of course, neither he or his sons and daughters will sacrifice anything. You will.
The most obvious impact on all of us will be the cost of building this resilience. Sons and daughters, colleagues, veterans will all have a part to play, to build, to serve, and if necessary, to fight. And more families will know what sacrifice for our nation means.
The comments follow a separate speech by Blaise Metrovelli, the head of MI6. She too raised the alarm about the dangers posed by Vladimir Putin's Russia.
We all continue to face the menace of an aggressive, expansionist and revisionist Russia seeking to subjugate Ukraine and harass NATO. I find it harrowing that hundreds of thousands have died, with the toll mounting every day because of Putin's historical distortions and his compromised desire for respect.
The two speeches underline the growing concern inside defence and security circles about the threat posed by Russia and the need for the whole of society to be prepared to respond. Yet defence insiders tell me they're worried that the only thing really growing in defence is the gap between the strong rhetoric from officials and the reality in the ranks, where there are questions about where the money's coming from to rebuild the armed forces and to rebuild wider national resilience. Is there a risk that the only thing growing in UK defence is the gap between the strong rhetoric?
Okay, so you get the idea, but look at this. This is the most telling thing. Breaking: China and Russia say they will protect Iran and Venezuela from the United States. That is world war. So if we go into Venezuela tonight, if war is declared on Venezuela tonight, this is what China and Russia said that they will do. They will be in that war and they will defend Venezuela from the United States, let alone Iran. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? World War III is upon us. Look at this. Oh, sorry, it didn't pop in there. Breaking and unusual from the Russian Defense Ministry moments ago. President Vladimir Putin delivers a blunt warning. If Ukraine and its European patrons refuse serious dialogue, Russia will liberate its historical lands by military force. So there is war coming from everywhere at this point. Everywhere. Even, guys, Taiwan.